At Riesta's kingdom, where Gazef belongs to, the king felt responsible for the event with the angel at Kane village and privately apologized to Gazef and wishes to thank Ainz for saving his loyal knight. At Nazarick, Albedo greeted Ainz in a comedic way, like a lover waiting for a husband that has just returned back from work. Back to the serious matter. Ainz has obtained a world map and now knows where Nazarick has been transported to, and discuss each of the Floor Guardian's assessment. Meanwhile, Chartier is getting drunk and depressed after learning the truth that she was brainwashed by a world item and attacked her master Ainz. At the throne room, Cocytus greeted Ainz and informed him that he will be departing to the Great Lake where Ainz had taken interest in. At the Great Lake, the Lizardman race was greeted by a few cloudy heads and declared their death is upon their race. The Lizardman race is given 8 days and starts discussing their plan. The tribe chief's younger brother, Zarius, suggests that their tribe, the Green Claw, form an alliance with the other Lizardman tribe, knowing that they could not win against what was about to invade them. Zarius then heads out and visits the Red Eye tribe and is given audience with the acting chief. To his surprise, is an albino female lizard named Crush and gets aroused, falling in love with her at first sight, and proposed to her on the spot. At the same time, Crush finds Zarius attractive. Both regain their senses and forms an alliance to fight rather than waiting for their death, and heads out together to the Dragon Tusk tribe. As they reach the Dragon Tusk tribe, the chief Zambiru challenged Zarius to a duel, as their tribe only listened to the strongest. Zarius then defeats the chief by freezing his arm with his weapon. After the duel, the tribe hosts a feast and discusses about the recent events that had happened, and agrees on the alliance. Zarius then returns back to his tribe with both Crush and Zambiru, and with the 2 other tribes already arrived from the request of the Green Claw tribe chief. With 4 days left, the 5 tribe begins to plan for the upcoming battle against the invader. Cocytus begins to order his skeleton army to attack the Lizardmen, but underestimate their morale. He then sends out a mage and begins to fire back. Zarius, Crush, and Zambiru heads to the battlefield and manage to counter back, killing the mage. At the Nazarick throne room, Ainz gathers the Floor Guardians and introduces them to Victim, Guardian of the 8th floor, to the rest of the Floor Guardians, as he attempts to use Victim's special ability in case someone is about to use world item again. Cocytus then apologizes for the defeat of the army he was entrusted to by Ainz, as he has lacked information which leads to his defeat. Ainz then orders Cocytus to exterminate the lizard alone without relying on anyone. However, Cocytus makes a request to spare the Lizardmen, but Ainz sees no benefits in sparing them. Just then, Demiru suggests that the Lizardmen can be used as an experiment to govern them without the use of fear, which Ainz approves. At the Lizardman village, another army is spotted, and Ainz arrives with the Floor Guardians. He informs the Lizardmen that Cocytus will arrive and fight the whole Lizardman race, and if they prevail against Cocytus, Ainz promises to completely leave them alone. At the newly built base in the forest of Nazarick, Ainz is hesitant to sit on the new throne chair constructed by Demiru. He takes this opportunity to punish Chartier, as she has been requesting Ainz to punish her for the failure. Hence, orders Chartier to get on all 4 like a chair and sits on top of her. However, Chartier takes it as a reward. At dawn, Cocytus arrives and the Lizardman chief prepares for battle. The warriors charges and Cocytus easily kills them by freezing most of them. With the Lizardman chief left, all of them attack Cocytus, and in return, Cocytus shows his strength and kills each of the chief. With Zarius and Zarius left, in respect, Cocytus asks for their names before killing both of them. Ainz congratulates Cocytus and appoints him as the ruler of the Lizardmen. Crush, the last remaining of the chief, and on behalf of the Lizardmen, pledge their loyalty to Ainz. Ainz then offers Crush a chance to bring Zarius back from the dead, but in return, she will be a spy for possible Lizardman rebellion. Zarius is brought back to life, and the Lizardmen pledge their loyalty to Ainz, acknowledging him as the supreme being. Sebas is in the kingdom of Riestas, exploring around the city. As he entered an alleyway, he saw a man throwing a bag outside. He continues walking past the bag, and a hand suddenly grabs onto his pants, which revealed a heavily injured girl. Sebas then brought the girl back to the mansion and requests Solution to treat her. Solution then asks Sebas if Ainz should be notified, to which Sebas refused. As the girl recovered, Sebas brought her food and learned that her name is Tuare. Meanwhile, Gazev, who happened to find Brain in despair, brought him back to his house and learns from him that there are monsters far beyond their level. In the midst of event, an underground syndicate called the Eight Fingers holds a meeting, discussing their upcoming plan. Climb, a bodyguard of Princess Rainer of the Riestas Kingdom, is sparring against Gazev. Though he is no match for the warrior captain, Gazev advised Climb to continue to gain experience in battle, as he has no talent. Back at the palace, Climb on his way to meet Rainer encounters Zanek, the second prince, and gets annoyed when he insults Rainer for being a monster, but warns that the first prince, Barbro, is planning to use their younger sister as a political marriage. As Climb arrives at Rainer's room, the princess requests him to join her for tea, alongside with her friends, Lakius and Tina, both adamantium rank adventurer group called the Blue Roses. They discuss the recent events of the underground syndicate Eight Fingers, involving drug use and slavery. Meanwhile, at the mansion, Solution asks Sebas if they should inform Ainz that the human girl Tuare is living with them as a maid. Just then, two strangers arrive at the mansion and claims that Sebas kidnapped one of their employees, Tuare, and plans to extort him for money. Sebas is then given a day to pay up and left the mansion. Solution then informs Ainz that Sebas has gone rogue. Climb arrives at the inn where two members of Blue Roses, Gagaran and Evil Eye, is at, and relay a message from their leader Lakius. Evil Eye then gives some advice for Climb abilities to never resign his humanity for power, as again he has no talent in magic. Meanwhile, Blaine exploring around the town saw Sebas beating up a few thugs, saving a young boy. Just then, Climb arrived to heal the boy with potion and stalks Sebas back in the alleyway. He requests the butler to teach him his technique after he happened to saw him in action. Sebas agrees and prepares to punch Climb with a killing attempt, which Climb managed to avoid, and congratulate Climb for overcoming death. Brain, who witnessed everything at the corner, requests Sebas for the same thing. Just then, 5 assassins appear and Sebas easily knocked out 3 of the 5 assassins, while both Climb and Brain took out the other 2. They later found out that the assassin was sent by 8 Fingers, and Sebas plans to go alone to their hideout, but both Climb and Brain request to assist him, which he agrees. As the trio arrives at their hideout, Sebas attacks them from the entrance, while Climb and Brain attack from the back. Climb then located a secret entrance and heads down together with Brain, while Sebas do some scum cleanup. While Brain scouts further inside the secret entrance, Climb encounters 2 members of the 8 Fingers, Crocodile and Succulent. Climb proceeds to fight Succulent, who specializes in illusion magic, fights Climb, who has no talent, and gravely injured him. Brain then arrives to save Climb and defeat Succulent with one strike. After the raid, they successfully appended the 2 members of 8 Fingers. The trio returns back to their own life. Sebas was informed by Solution that Ainz was waiting for him in the mansion. Climb returns back to the palace and makes his report to the princess, while Brain is back to Gazev's home, telling him about Climb. Back at the mansion, Sebas is called upon by Ainz and asks Solution to bring Tuare to him. As Sebas' mission was to be discreet in his information gathering, but ends up bringing unwanted attention involving a human girl. Ainz then orders Sebas to kill the girl, and Sebas does so by striking her, but was stopped by Cocytus, who confirmed the strike was intended to kill, which proves Sebas' loyalty. As the issue has been settled, Sebas requests to Ainz to let Tuare work as a maid in Nazarick. Hence, Tuare is now under the protection of Ainz, and it's revealed that Tuare is the older sister of Nina from the Sword of Darkness group, who was killed by Clementine in the first season. Rainer is discussing with his brother to attack 8 Fingers while they are still vulnerable, and plans to overthrow their oldest brother, the first prince, as they know he has been making deals with them. At the mansion, Tuare has been kidnapped when Sebas and Solution was out on a mission. Demiru gathers the Pleiades, Mare, and Chartier. As Sebast's mission will be focusing in rescuing Tuare, he leaves while the rest discuss their mission in destroying the 8 Fingers. At a campsite, the Blue Roses is reviewing their overall plan for the raid of the 8 Fingers hideout with the Riestas army and other adventurers. Climb team arrive at one of their hideouts and happen to see Sebast, who is there to save Tuare, and volunteer to draw attention at the front gate. As Sebast entered the front gate, he was welcomed by 4 Six Arms members, who are the strongest security department of 8 Fingers. As the members introduced themselves, Sebast just beheaded all 4 members one at a time. Meanwhile, Helma, a member of the 8 Fingers, gets kidnapped by Mare, leaving Entoma, a member of the Pleiades, to clean up. Just then, Entoma was attacked by Gagaran, and they fight with Entoma nearly killing Gagaran. Tia arrives to save her, but both of them were no match for Entoma, who overpowers the two. Evil Eye then appear, and now 3 members of the Blue Roses takes on Entoma and manage to beat her. Demiru disguises himself as Jaldabaoth and saves Entoma, and kills both Tia and Gagaran, leaving Evil Eye, who proceeds to fight him. But just then, Momon arrives. At the royal capital, Climb Team is escorting Tuare after rescuing her, but the strongest member of the Six Arms, Zero, appear and stops them. Brain then challenges Zero and informs Climb that Succulent is disguising himself as Tuare. Climb then fight against Succulent, as he has no talent, requires help from an adventurer to beat him. Brain and Zero prepare to clash each other with their strongest technique, but just then, Sebast appears with the real Tuare, shocking Zero. This belief that Sebast has defeated the other members starts to buff up his strongest attack and strikes Sebast, who is unfazed and drops kick, killing him. Momon fighting against Jaldabaoth after agreeing on Evil Eye requests to help her and protects her from his attack. Jaldabaoth then retreats and tells Momon he will encircle the royal capital with demonic flames. After the battle, Momon offers to help carry Evil Eye's companion, but she informs him that Lachius will be arriving shortly to cast resurrection magic. Just then, a wall of flame begins encircling the city. The adventurer and the army enters inside the flame to rescue the trapped civilians and hold back against a wave of demons until Momon arrives. Brain spotted a disguised Chartier, challenged her in order to give his comrade the time to escape. At this time, managing to chip her fingernails with his ultimate attack and escape, knowing his skill was not meaningless. Momo, Nabe, and Evil Eye located Jaldabaoth and 5 Pleiades in disguise. Momo then battles Jaldabaoth, while Evil Eye and Nabe take on the 5 Pleiades. In a secure place, Demiru and I speak privately to discuss Demiru's plan. Steal raw materials from Riestas, counterback against 8 Fingers, capture humans, and lastly, place all the blame on Jaldabaoth to boost Momon's fame. Outside, Nabera is conversing with her sister secretly. As an earthquake signal, the maids return to their intended roles. Momon and Jaldabaoth return back to fighting each other, though everything was just an act. With the plan completed, Jaldabaoth and the maid retreats back, and Momon is held as the hero of the kingdom. Unknown to them, Ainz has taken control half of the kingdom after Aura captures the remaining 8 Fingers leaders, making them servants to Ainz. Elsewhere in another kingdom, the Emperor orders the investigation of Ainzungon, an adamantium rank adventurer Momon.